Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Just a quick one. My name is Jackson Blackledge for those who don't know me. I run Echelon. What we do is we do Google Ads for e-commerce brands. We're working with some of the biggest names in the space. Davey Fogarty, Manny Barbers over at Sasha 3, Ark in Amsterdam, Raw Nutrition, AgeMate, the list goes on. Okay, obviously the title of this video, I'll just refresh my Google Ads dashboard for you so you know the title isn't bullshit. Last 30 days, $23 million spent USD. Obviously, this is last 30 days, so it's November. It's a BFCM and stuff like that. Just so you know the video title isn't bullshit. I can even refresh that shit for you, so you know it's not fucking bullshit. See, refresh 23 mil. We can have a look at like last 7 days for you, so you can do the math and add that up. Okay. And then if we go back to the last 30 days, this is just receipt. This is just receipts. I'm trying to fucking work this one out. Yesterday, 625. Last 30 days, 23 mil. Okay, so I put a Q&A post out on Twitter. I just asked the audience, hey, drop your questions, both about the agency, if you have questions about running an agency, or any Google ad related questions. So go follow me on Twitter or X, and then drop your questions when you do have them. So I hope you enjoy.
Quick one. Q&A. Big thank you for putting the questions in. Now, I'm going to go through each of them. First question. How do you measure YouTube ad efficiency for smaller D2C businesses? Question from Peter. Okay, that is a fucking pretty loaded question, but I'm going to try my best just to answer it in the most straightforward way. So, important context, YouTube ads is one of the most incremental channels out there at the moment. Arguably, to give you a real example, we had a campaign where in-platform ROAS was 1.4, maybe even lower, but when we looked at actual ROAS on Shopify, it was like 3.75. That was including conversions generated from TikTok Shop, Amazon, but because of YouTube, it was a 5.5 ROAS. So in-platform numbers don't really tell the whole story. Now, smaller brands most of the time really can't afford the super expensive software you need to really identify this at the granular level, but there are ways you can measure effectiveness. So number one, I would say check branded search terms and just cross-reference with YouTube activity. So you can go to Google Search Console, filter performance by your brand name, and you can clearly sort of see day by day the impressions and clicks from branded traffic. The impressions will tell you, is your brand getting more popular or not? Also cross-check these trends against when you're running YouTube. Secondly, I'd say just use good Google Ads native tracking. You don't really need GA4. You should obviously definitely see in-platform conversions as well, but be kinder on YouTube versus what you see on search. If you see 1.2 rise on YouTube versus 1.2 rise on search, that YouTube ad campaign, they're definitely contributing much more. Search and shopping are, just like fulfilling a need in that moment, but YouTube is creating that demand. Snack ZZ, 3 years PPC experience working for decent clients in Perth agency side, but want to break out of the 9-to-5 starting agency the only way. I'm going to DM you and ask if you want a job at Echelon and we do an interview. I'm not even kidding. Anyways, mate, you're probably watching this, but if you want to start your own thing, good luck. But I look forward to chatting to you. So let's go back. It's not the only way. There's many ways. You've got 3 years experience in Google Ads. Does that mean you have 3 good years of Google Ad experience? No. But let's just say, because I'm not sure if this is for e-commerce or not. So let's just say it is for e-commerce. Then let's say you understand e-com, you understand Google Ads. 2 skills that, do pay well if you are good at them and if you can sort of put yourself in front of the right brands, the right people to show your worth. Starting an agency is that the only way? I would say no. There's so many directions we can take this question, but let's say we do agency, right? You can start an agency, and then even when you do start an agency, there's 2 ways you can do it. You can build an agency similar to Echelon and similar to these huge agencies in the space. Like we have 55 team members. We're doing $1 million a month now. We have 150 to 160 clients. There's a lot of moving parts. Or you can do an agency, but only have like 5-10 clients and maybe have 1 to 2 team members that maybe helps with communication, reporting with clients and calls, and then the other one helps with media buying, for example, okay? Or one does operations, one does media buying, and you do media buying or you do sales calls, whatever. It really depends on what you want to build and also what life you want to live. If you want a lifestyle that pays you X per month, then you got to backtrack and see, okay, I want that. So to get that, I need this many clients. How do I get this many clients? I need that much profit, blah, blah, blah. Or maybe you have this knowledge so you can build a software based around Google Ads, or you can sell Google Merchant Center scripts. It really depends if you want to work with clients or if you just want to be a service provider or if you want to sell softwares or scripts for Google Ads. There's so many avenues, but that is not the only way. You can just be a freelancer and get paid okay money. Just do it on yourself. You have 5 clients paying you 2K a month, 10K. Everyone goes, oh no, you need 100K, blah, blah, blah. 10K a month. You can live a pretty good fucking lifestyle off 10K a month, even 5K a month, you know? So don't get sold and then fucking bullshit that you need all this cash, blah, blah, blah. You just work out what lifestyle you want to live and pick your path, okay? Okay, so James McKenzie, best practices for onboarding clients, setting expectations and working with the new client. Just run me through your thought process as an agency owner. That's my question. Love your hustle and everything you stand for. Keep it up. James McKenzie, fucking legend, mate. Appreciate you too, brother. So, okay, let's break this fucker down. So from the get-go, I am not for guarantees and shit like that. Yo, in 30 days, I'm going to increase your ROAS by 100%, all your money back. You just get the wrong clients that way. I'm 99.9% sure we've never done guarantees at Echelon. But the only thing that I know we've done, like at the start, we did like percentage of profit or percentage of some shit before attribution was fucking all fucked up. And then everyone was like, oh, you know, it was kind of difficult to really pinpoint the profit from Google at some point. So we sort of switched to a different model, flat fee or percentage of spend. But anyways, I'm just saying I wouldn't do guarantees. Set expectations, especially with Google. Google is not like Meta. So you just need to walk them through anything for your service, right? Expectation setting is very important. Do not be scared to over set expectations because you might lose the client. You're not going to lose the client, guys, okay? Even if you do, you've saved yourself a heap of pain. So just setting expectations. Another one is we don't actually charge onboarding fees or there's no invoice to start. We invoice on the first of the month for the previous month. So basically, they can just fucking start. And they do the onboarding form, they do the onboarding stuff, they do the onboarding call, and they still don't pay. We make first change in the ad account, and that day we make the first change, they still don't pay. It's the next month on the 1st. That's when we invoice them. And that's like a pro-rated sort of invoice, okay? So there's zero friction. So even if they're coming from a different agency, let's say, you know, December the 1st it is today. Let's say someone says, let's go. They join Slack, they do their onboarding stuff. Their agency says, give me 2 weeks notice. Okay, no worries. Between now and the December the 14th, they can have all their onboarding stuff done. We make the first change on the 14th of December. There's no downtime for the ad account. January the 1st, they get their invoice for December the 14th to the end of December. So very little friction there as well. I got to say something. The only thing we do charge for like straight away is consulting or like a cheap sort of management that we might do for really small client, rarely, you know, or if we think the client's broken or if we think the client's not going to pay or, you know what I mean? We're just going to be like, we charge. But I don't have to fucking fact check myself and what we do. But I'm just saying to you, charging on the 1st for the previous month works very well. Very smooth. Okay. Little friction. You gotta understand too, when you onboard a client, it is the most fragile time. Buyer's remorse is high. Add them to a Slack channel, give them links, and that's it. And then just palm them off to a team and you never talk to them again. You might have a very good team, but the thing is, at the end of the day, you need them to complete the onboarding stuff and you need them to complete the onboarding call and you need to be a part of the journey. You need to set expectations, make sure the onboarding experience is smooth, make sure they complete everything, give them this clear instructions, make it very easy. And at the end of the day, yeah, you can't lose. And if they don't like any of that or if it fucking makes them hesitate, well, you're saving yourself a world of fucking trouble. Anyways, okay. Raven is creating targeted landing pages built into the monthly retainer or an additional fee. It's included in our fee. What is your client communication structure? Do you do monthly meetings, weekly Slack updates, etc.? At the minimum, every client gets a 1 call a month and a bi-weekly report. But mate, we're communicating every day within Slack. So if client wants to jump on a call, we jump on a call. If client wants a quick update, we do it. If client wants a quick report on something or an end of day this, or they want end of day report for the next 2 weeks or whatever, we do it. It's not you only get the bi-weekly, you only get the monthly. That's what they get minimum. But on top of that, we do a bunch more. Once a call is booked, how do you maximize show up? Set of calls, email sequences. Once a call is booked, don't overthink it. I just fucking have a few Calendly reminders. And then if they don't pull up, like my show rate's pretty fucking high. I'd say 2 in every 10 don't show. And then if they don't show, we've got a meeting right now. If you don't pull up in 2-3 minutes and 2-3 minutes late, email them. Hey mate, you showing? Wait. If they don't show up in 5 minutes to the start. So meetings at 8 o'clock, if they're not there by 8:05, I call them. Because the Calendly question is, what's your number? Yeah, let's fucking give them a bell. I've got another number, not my personal number, my work number. I call them like 2-3 times. If not, they don't show, I text them and I just go, yo, I'm on the call. And then I just wait. If they don't show up, for like 10 minutes or some shit like that, then I just text them and I email them, yo, rebook here. And then if they don't rebook, then yeah, we have an in-house SDR that follows up in like a month, 2 months, 3 years. And then we add them to the newsletter. But I'm not wasting my time with people that don't want to fucking talk. Like, we're not desperate for clients, which I'm grateful for. But if they book a call, they book a call. If not, no stress. Team structure, do's and don'ts. Oh, that's a broad question. Juan, this could be a video in itself, 10 minutes. So I'm trying to think of like the main things and answer it as quickly as I can. For the agency, it's simple, you just gotta have operators in the right seat, clear ownership, clear roles, clear responsibilities, hold people accountable. Make sure your environment is like top tier, company culture's fire, really tight communication, and make sure people have a path for growth, okay? Because most agencies agencies sort of break because, you know, nobody knows who actually owns that and who's doing what. There's no accountability. And yes, you can have a lot of chefs in the kitchen, but when the chefs don't know what the fuck they're doing, it's a fucking shit show. I would say just trust your team, because at the end of the day, trusting your team is very key, because a lot of people do not trust their team and they micromanage and they can't scale because they want to get involved in everything and they don't trust, and then they're micromanaging so their team hates it, and no one loves it. All right, it just turns into a shit show. Not recommended. Quick rant about the switch that made you appeal to world class level brands. Didn't switch anything, man. Results stayed the same. I just stayed the same. Obviously shaved my head, got laser eye surgery, no glasses. They might have appealed to a few more people. I don't fucking know. I think I grew up a little bit, so they don't think they're working with a 12-year-old. Yeah, man. Just building echelon more and more awareness, working with better brands. Results are fucking phenomenal, so people talk. But no, you don't see me in a suit and tie. You don't see us changing. We're working with some crazy brands, man. So I stayed the same since day one. Obviously, me growing up, I might have changed as an individual a little bit in definitely my appearances. But other than that, you don't have to change the way you operate or the way you are, the way you do business to try and appeal. Because these are the things for cunts on LinkedIn, because they're always corpo and shit, and then they jump on a call with me, they just go, oh my god, what's this guy? They just sign like there's suit and tie and shit like that. But the thing is, don't change the way you do your business. At the end of the day, it is what it is. You are who you are, and just deliver solid results. Because when you're genuine on social and shit, I've just stayed true to myself, and people that fuck with my vibe and what I do and the person I am, they come to work with us, and then on the call with me, I'm the exact same. So there's no sort of friction there, and they go, oh, yeah, I fucking love it. You're the same as on content, and you know what I mean? So it's the same person. You're not getting a facade, you know? Elliot Nash, when duplicating product feeds, do you just append something to the product ID and remove the GTIN, or do you also append something to the SKU? If the latter is the case, how do you guarantee that reviews are still showing, or is that a trade-off? So yes, we do append something to the product ID, something that identifies the duplication. This could reflect the angle of the duplication, whether it's the picture, the title, or the landing page. You want to be able to identify from the ID what the point of that duplication is. Every duplication should have a purpose. As for the SKU, there's no need to append anything to it. For reviews, Google uses item_group_ID to share reviews across variants to just make sure your duplicates have the right ones to get reviews to show. For any reason you don't get the reviews to show on your duplicates, there's a workaround you can actually use to still maximize the performance of your ads. If you have interesting GMC promotions like BOGO deals or maybe even discount codes, you can actually push them heavily on the duplicates that don't have reviews. Another one from Elliot. Very good questions, brother. When running BOF shopping campaigns with very limited search volume, would creating duplicate campaigns to test product feed titles not result in direct competition because of the limited target pool? Would we then rather add the duplicate products to the running campaign? When we do the duplicates, the first option is usually to add them to an existing campaign. The same campaign can obviously place multiple listings for the same search. You don't need different campaigns to have multiple listings showing up simultaneously. But here's the key thing. The main concept isn't to test product titles. It's not about seeing what works better or sort of finding the best phrasing. It's not a test to create one winner, okay? The concept of product duplication when it comes to titles is just to cover as much fucking real estate as you can, you know? Cover as many search themes and keyword themes as possible, and specifically, you know, in the first 5 words, which is often everything you see in the shopping titles. For example, let's say you're selling a collagen product for bone density. You might choose supplements, bone density, or collagen for calcium boost, right? So I wouldn't say it's about finding a winner. It's more about having something relevant for different searches and keeping them all. The goal is just to maximize coverage. So get that product as many clicks as you fucking can. Now, if your added duplicates don't get traction in the running campaign, that's when, you know, we place them in a sort of separate campaign to just force Google to show them. But the key point, only do this if Google doesn't show them. Next question, which metrics are you looking at when you adjust ROAS or budget, and how do you interpret those metrics? Ecom Picasso, mate, I love the username. So for ROAS adjustments, first, I would say look at the last 30 days, especially for ROAS. That's the period Google uses mostly. And when we play with targets for that window, look at the graphs as well. That could be big trends and changes in those 30 days. For example, you can say, you know, it was going great. So then you establish a ROAS baseline based on that. So you always want to look at the graphs daily and last 30 days whenever you want to sort of modify T-ROAS. Also, what we look at is not only the in-platform ROAS, which is conversion value by cost. These are people who already bought. So we always look at ROAS by time, which is conversion value by time by cost. This considers the revenue processed by your shop in the last 30 days from Google Ads. You have to accommodate the time lag, which can be up to like 90 days for purchase attribution. There's like 3 core principles when it comes to ROAS adjustments and tracking. First one, find trends. If things are going up, you can be more aggressive. Be more conservative when they're not. Keep your targets challenging, but sort of realistic. And never forget seasonal events happening in the 30 days. So if you had a sale, you can't expect the same ROAS going forward. So BFCM ROAS and all that shit, you can't expect that in Jan, Feb most of the time as well. Okay, so just set those expectations. For budget adjustments, check the cost day by day. I would account for seasonality. And then if you're running search, I'd use the search lost impression share by budget metric. So you can look at that in the graph and then check how many impressions you're losing because of your budget. Obviously not because of ranking. You can just see this day by day and use this data to really raise or reduce the budget. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good one. All the best.